Hello, boys and girls at Pines, Forest Brook, and Bretton Woods. This is Dr. Murphy, for those of you who may not know me yet. And I'm sending this video to kind of share a little bit about myself and then also to read a book to all of you. So let's get started. First of all, my role is superintendent of schools. So what that means is I get to work with Dr. Smalley at Bretton Woods, with Mr. Bullis at Pines, and with Mr. Colin at Forest Brook. Hopefully you are seeing this funny picture that I made of the four of us and getting a good laugh. Really all that it means is I have the real pleasure of visiting all of the buildings, including the middle school and the high school, and working with teachers and staff members to support all of you. So we're one big team. A little bit about myself beyond work. This is my family. I have Mrs. Murphy over to the left and my daughters Ella and Lily and my son Johnny. This was at a recent volleyball match where my daughter Ella had just won the match, and it was her senior night, which was very fun. Also part of the family, can't forget them. Dolly's on the top, Ruby's on the bottom in that photo. Our dogs, we love our dogs. I'm sure lots of you listening right now have dogs or cats or other animals. Actually, raise your hand if you have a dog. Good. I see a lot of hands going up. So we have a lot of animal lovers in Hauppauge, and I am one of them. I love the Yankees. Wasn't the end of the season that I wanted, but still a diehard Yankee fan. I love pizza. That is 2 slices from Ciro's right in Hauppauge. So I'm sure I got a lot of pizza lovers in the audience as well listening. And there's lots of great pizza places in Hauppauge to choose from. So Yankees, Jets, Islanders, Knicks. Those are my teams. Back to school, back to work. One of the things I love is to visit the buildings. So I'm sending this video because in addition to visiting physically and coming to the buildings, I want to visit virtually, right? But here's a picture from last year visiting for Halloween. Still working on my costume this year, along with some of my friends here who I work with in district office. But you'll see me next Friday. I hope to see some great costumes. I know I will. And then other parts of the year, you'll see me maybe sometimes doing some silly things. So let me show you. So that holiday, anybody know that holiday? Can share with your teacher? St. Patrick's Day. So I hope all my friends in the buildings listening right now will join me in the hallways in March and maybe have another dance like we did last year. And then, again, back to my visits. These are a couple pictures from last year, visiting and reading in person. My dream would be to read in every classroom over a few years, but I certainly hope to get to some of them this year. And again, I'm going to be sending videos like this one, reading each month, either way, virtually on the smartboard. So I hope you enjoy that. So with that being said, the first book that we're going to read together, or I will read, and you'll hopefully be on the rug there or in your chairs in your classroom, is Let It Grow by Mary Ann Fraser. So I'm going to pause for a minute to get that book ready, and then I'll be back. Okay, I am back, boys and girls. So let's start our book, Let It Grow by Mary Ann Fraser. I love that it's got a pumpkin on the cover, which is perfect timing for the season that we are in. Let it grow. What do you have in your hand? A seed, a very special seed. Are you going to eat it? Oh no, I'll let it grow. I'll push the seed into the dirt, water it, and yank any weeds until a sprout pokes its head up. Looks like he's holding one of those. And then you'll pluck the leafy sprout and add it to a salad? What do we see in that salad? Can anyone raise your hand and share with your teacher? Any vegetables you see in that salad? Good. Let's keep going. Oh no, I'll let it grow. The sprout will creep and twine this way and that until a blossom the color of marmalade appears. And then you'll pick the flower for a bouquet? That's a cool word. Look at that word, bouquet. Look at the flowers. Is that what we'll do? Pick the flower for a bouquet? No, I'll let it grow. The flower will yawn open until a bumbling bee dusted in pollen drinks from the flower and makes it fruit. He looks so happy, this little guy. And then you'll munch that fruit for a snack? What do we think, boys and girls? Is that what's going to happen? Oh no, I'll let it grow. The fruit will turn from green to gold and swell until it's a sweet baby pumpkin. You could point to the screen where you see that pumpkin. And does the pumpkin match, does the color of the pumpkin match anything else in that picture? Maybe you can raise your hand and share with your teacher. And then you'll pick the sweet baby pumpkin to make a pie. By the way, I love pumpkin pie, but I love to have a scoop of vanilla ice cream with my pumpkin pie. Delicious, especially this time of year, and especially coming up for Thanksgiving. Love, love, love. But let's see. Is that what's going to happen? We'll pick the sweet baby pumpkin to make a pie? I think we now see a pattern here. We know the answer. Oh no, I'll let it grow. The baby pumpkin will drink up buckets of water and soak up the sun's rays until it is as plump and orange as a basketball. Ooh. Raise your hand if you love to play basketball. Remember I said I was a Knicks fan. I love Jalen Brunson. It's my favorite player on the Knicks. All right, let's keep going. And then will you carve that plump pumpkin into a jack-o'-lantern? That is something that's fun to do. But is that what's going to happen here? Oh no, I'll let it grow and grow and grow some more until it is too large to lug and too weighty for a wagon. Wow, that does look like a heavy, heavy pumpkin that he's carrying. And then, let me guess, you'll let it grow some more? Look at the size of that pumpkin. Oh no, I'll saw that giant pumpkin right off the vine with lots of help. Looks like maybe his dad or his grandpa is helping him. I will roll it up a plank and onto a truck. To haul it to market? Maybe to sell it? Oh no, I'll take it to the fair. The judges will weigh that giant pumpkin and maybe it will win a prize. Wow, that pumpkin looks like it's got to be 100 pounds, maybe more. Will you be sad if the pumpkin doesn't win a prize? Oh no, I'll cut a giant hole in my giant pumpkin and scoop out all the seeds. Will you throw the rest away, all those seeds? Oh no, with brushes and lots of paint, we'll fancy up the hollow pumpkin. Wow, looks like he's a good artist as well, decorating that pumpkin. Then we'll launch it into the lake. That sounds like a crazy idea. Won't the pumpkin sink? Oh no, it will float like a boat. We'll grab some paddles, hop on in, and sail it in the Great Pumpkin Regatta. And then to celebrate, you'll roast and eat that plentiful pile of seeds. Raise your hand. Have you ever had roasted pumpkin seeds? Delicious. But is that what's going to happen here? Oh no. Next year, we'll let them all grow. Wow, what a great, great book. You see some pictures here of the West Coast Giant Pumpkin Regatta. Wow, they have an actual pumpkin race there, it looks like. So, and this book has some great pumpkin facts at the end. Pumpkins are grown on every continent except Antarctica. There's more than 45 different kinds of pumpkins. I did not realize that. Amazing. So that's the end of our book. I'm going to ask you, boys and girls, before I sign off, because I thought this was such a great story, what would you like to grow? Is there anything that you grow at home, a plant, some vegetables, maybe mom and dad or an aunt or uncle or grandparents have a garden? Maybe you want to grow a skill. You want to get better. I laughed in that book about basketball. Maybe you want to grow and become a better basketball player. Or you want to grow and continue to grow in how you treat your friends and be more kind. Or be more helpful in class. So I want to leave you with that question. What would you like to grow? And you could possibly share with a friend or share with your teacher if that's what they ask you to do. So thank you, boys and girls. Again, Dr. Murphy signing off. Learners today, leaders tomorrow. Thanks for listening to me, and I will be back next month with another book. Take care.